They told me I'd never amount to anything. I was a failure. My entire life was a failure until I proved them all wrong. I grew up in a small town in North Carolina. We were so poor that my mom had to get creative just to put food on the table. It had one bathroom, no air conditioning, just one single ceiling fan that barely kept the house cool enough during the summer. By the time I reached high school, I was failing most of my classes. My teachers didn't think I had what it took to succeed. Every mile marker is a reminder that they were wrong. They were wrong about me. They said I wasn't smart enough. They told me to aim low, that I should just drop out after high school and get a job at the local factory. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and we had hope. Hope that things would get better. Stories of people who were told they weren't good enough, smart enough, or pretty enough, but they proved those people wrong. I remember the first time my mom made fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. I started school wearing hand-me-down clothes that were 2 sizes too big for me. The other kids made fun of me. They called me names. I hated going to school. I decided I was going to prove them all wrong. I studied art every day. I practiced drawing stick figures until my hand cramped. I learned perspective, shading, color theory, everything. I wanted to learn how to draw anything and everything. But there were days when I felt like giving up. If people ever tell you that you go and do something, or that you never amount to anything, don't believe them. Prove them wrong. Don't ever give up on your dreams. And always remember, you are amazing, just the way you are. There were days when I felt like I wasn't good enough. But then I would look at the art, on my walls, the awards, the checks, and I would remember what the other kids had said, what my art teacher had said, and it gave me the strength to keep going. She would take a whole ripe avocado, mash it up with some salt and pepper, then smear it on top of our bread. When I was 16, I entered an art contest. I didn't win, but I got 3rd place and some nice art supplies. Then when I was 18, I entered another art contest. All the kids shouted out their answers. They wanted to be doctors, lawyers, astronauts. When it was my turn, I said I wanted to be an artist. The whole class laughed at me. The teacher said, "Don't be ridiculous. You're not good at art. You're not even good at drawing a stick figure." I felt like giving up right then and there. I was so ashamed, and we would eat it with relish. I knew that if I could succeed here, then I could succeed anywhere. I earned my master's degree in 3 years and got a job at a Fortune 500 company. Our home was a hand-me-down from my grandparents. I started school early. I was a bright and curious kid. I loved learning, but as I got older, I started falling behind. But something inside of me just snapped. I couldn't let them see me break. I wanted to prove them all wrong. So when my parents suggested I take a year off after high school to work and save money for college, I refused. I moved out of my parents' house and into an apartment by myself. I took out loans to pay for college. I worked my butt off to make sure I didn't disappoint them. After 4 years, I graduated with honors. I was accepted into several graduate programs, but I chose to attend a university out of state. Every day I drive past the university. I can't help but smile. My story is just one of many. There are so many more stories like mine. Stories of people who faced adversity and won. You see, we all face challenges in life. We all face obstacles that seem too great to overcome. But I want you to remember this. Whatever those challenges may be, you can overcome them. You can succeed despite the odds. You can achieve your dreams despite the doubters. So I encourage you to keep moving forward, even when it's tough. Keep trying, even when you fail. Because I promise you, the feeling of success is worth it. The feeling of knowing that you proved them all wrong is the best feeling in the world. They called me a loser. They said I would never amount to anything, but I just proved them all wrong. I was born into poverty. My parents were too poor to buy me shoes. I had to walk barefoot everywhere. Then one day in class, our teacher asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up. But something inside me snapped. Years went by, and I got better and better at art. When I was 21, I graduated from college with a degree in fine arts. I got a job at an ad agency making 6 figures. The other artists at the agency were amazed at my talent. One of them even said, "You're a natural genius." I was so proud. I had proved them all wrong. I was no longer the barefoot, poor kids. I was a successful artist, making great art and lots of money. I want you to remember this.